of the high limit credit cards. United Nations Federal Credit Union. They have a 100K card and they have a 50K card. Okay. Amazing. First Tech, tougher to get. 100K. Go Blazers. SDFCU, we looked at that. 100K. Navy Federal goes up to 80K on the flagship only. The other ones is a total of 50,000 for their cards, and then a total maximum exposure limit of 80,000 across the board. So if you have a card that's 10,000 and you have a car, the flagship at 40,000, you're not going to get it anymore on the flagship. I mean, you are, but the thing will only go up to 80,000 across the board. So just make sure you know what your maximum exposure limit is. And that word means how much credit a credit union is willing to extend to you. Unify, they do up to 50,000 on most of their cards. Stated income loans. Right now we have two. We have Navy Federal 50,000, but it's a hard pull right from TransUnion. PenFed, we got a 50,000 soft pull to pre-qualify. Okay, so that's nice because you can pre-qualify before you take the hit. And PenFed with the loans is going to be Experian, and then PenFed with the credit cards is going to be Equifax. Now, I actually took this offer. Okay, I was actually just kind of joking around. I was going to make a video about it. I said, just let me try it. I actually got approved for the 50,000, and I had it in my account within 5 minutes. I'm not joking. I didn't have to provide pay stubs. I literally applied for it. I got approved. It said, would I want to go into a bank to sign the promissory note, or do I want to sign one electronically? Signed it electronically. Next thing you know, 50K is in my account. And I was like, this is the coolest magic trick in the world, right? Because most places, you can't just get this without showing proof of income, right? As an entrepreneur, it's not always that cut and dry. It's easier for you to always get funding as a W-2 employee and not as a self-employed person, okay? So I'm letting you both know that these are out there right now. What you do with that information is what you do with that information. But if you're going to be applying for loans, like I said, have a game plan for the money, right? And know how you're going to deploy it. But if you needed to get out of credit card debt and you wanted to free up your utilization so you could start building business credit like what we're going to go after next month, then this could be a very viable option for you. So let's talk about some of the high limit loans that are out there. Okay, some of you guys may not know some of these credit unions. United Nations Federal Credit Union goes up to 150K, but there's a caveat to that. You'll have to look on their website, but it does go up to 150K. SDFCU, and all of these, like I said, they can be joined. Like I'm not part of the United Nations. Like my dad's not an ambassador to the world, right? Like I'm not a rich kid like that, right? But what I'm saying is you can join through like whatever organization that you join at the time. That's what you can do. Like at the time of signing up for the account, it will say, join this organization, or are you part of this organization? And you can just go with it, right? I'll make a video of what that looks like. We've already talked about that, so I'm just assuming people know. But if you're not a part of the State Department, right, of the government, you could still join through a nonprofit, right? So it's not like Navy Federal where they're more exclusive. And there's ways to get into that as well. But the bottom line is the nonprofit organizations are your key in the door. That's why I went over the American Consumer Council in the beginning. But 100K on SDFCU. For all of my California people, you should really be looking at Connecta. They got a $100,000 loan. American Heritage is 100,000 on the loan in Philly. Patelco is in the Bay Area. That's another 100,000 with loans. So as you can see, if people don't know the game and they're not willing to do business credit cards, which I don't know why they wouldn't, because they're not paying interest. But if they a lot of businesses are actually started off by people getting a personal loan and bootstrapping their business. So that's another option you can do to get funding, is if you're saying, okay, I can handle $1,000 payment. My business is going to take 24 months to get off the ground. I have that money. I can pay back that money early without a fee, as long as you have a game plan. But many people will need loans, and I wanted to share with you where the high ticket loans are. This is just a few of them. And then, like I said, over here too, one of the cards that I failed to mention that I didn't have on here was Alliant has a $100,000 credit card right now as well, with a nice cash back. Okay, but Andrews 50K, Lafayette, that's 50K. Langley's really solid. Now, Langley you can have a loan up to 96 months. Right? So obviously the longer the months, usually a little bit more of the interest, but the payment's lower normally, right? So it's more manageable. This one goes up to 120 months. It's freaking ridiculous. That's what is that, a 10-year loan? That's a 10-year loan. Okay. So you're not going to get 10-year loans at Bank of America, and you're not going to get 96-month personal loans at Bank of America. Right. And so these things are really helpful to know. So you're going to say, okay, great. I want a 10-year loan. I live in Philly. I want to do business and personal banking. American Heritage is your ticket. I live in Cali. I want a line of credit. I want a personal loan. I want to, boom. So it's helpful to know this research. Unify. I don't have good credit. I want to rebuild my credit. And then next thing you know, you got a $50,000 credit card. And that really happens, people. First Tech, they're more conservative. If you're going to apply to them, make sure you know your data points. Best HELOCs. Let's talk about it. Okay. Personal line of credit. Remember, that's a stash of money that you don't actually pay for until you tap into it. So American Heritage, 100K. Connecta, 100K. Andrews, 50K. Unify, 50K. Patelco's, 50K. SDFCU, 30K. Okay. Navy Federal, 5K. Okay. So I want you guys to know that there's more magicians out there than Navy Federal, right? And all of these credit unions you can bank at with an association. And so a lot of people just assume, oh, it's a credit union. Yeah, that credit union could save your butt depending on what you want to do. Listen, I'm not trying to be disrespectful. You want weight loss, you want a boob job, you want to get your teeth fixed, right? You want cosmetic surgery, insurance isn't going to cover it. There's Air Force Credit Union. I didn't even put them on here. And they'll do like 3 months of no payments, give you up to a $50,000 loan.
Yeah, lifestyle loan, right?
Lifestyle loan. Yeah, that's one of them right there. And there's foreign real estate loans. There's all types of stuff. So when I say that credit unions are niche specific, they can be very niche specific. And if you are in the military, some of these, I didn't put that one that only military can get into. What is it? What's that one called, bro? It's not Navy Federal. It's
USAA.
Yeah. I didn't put them in there because I never deal with them. And most people, if they're not military, they never will deal with them. So I didn't want to put them on here, but they have great credit products, right? But I don't know anything about them because I have no interest in knowing anything about them because they're never going to let me in their door. But if you're military, I'd look into them. Andrews, I'd look into them, things like that. Langley, State Department. If you're military, sometimes you can actually get higher limits and lower interest rates just because you're military. Best HELOCs. Okay. So I've always talked about PenFed and they're great, but I would also look into Alliant. They've won awards for their HELOCs, and Connexus is major. I mean, major. I mean, with these two, I think this is out of Wisconsin. This one's out of Chicago, but both of these are solid. If you need HELOCs, some of them also may be able to do investment properties. You just have to double check. It's like what Shamori said, what's good today may not be good for tomorrow. So whenever you think about something, you really need to be like ready to take action, like not analysis paralysis. Like you need to know what you want and when to go for it and plan for it, because it could be gone tomorrow. And then you call, hey, I thought this was a vet. No, sorry, we changed, due to the economy. They're not going to bend the rules for you. You're not that cool to them. Okay. I just hate to break it to people, but that's the truth. If you need something, take action on it. Okay. Some good regional banks are out there too. I wanted to give some honorable mentions. Huntington Bank, I'm pretty big on them in the Midwest. PNC, I wish I had them out here in Vegas. I heard they're coming out here. Truist, a lot of you all know that. A lot of people have run those plays. They have some really good business products. If you can have provable income, they have some really good business products. So is Fifth Third Bank. Regions out there in Texas, phenomenal bank. Key Bank. And a lot of these people, I'm in mentorship groups where they have personal bankers and stuff like that. I'm going to be reaching out to some of these bankers myself to try to build that relationship so that way I can pass them on to you as well. Okay.